Hi, I'm Julia. I was Sammy's mentor for the past 16 weeks, and she was just an absolute pleasure to work with. She's super creative, very ambitious. One of the first meetings we had, she came with like 5 or 6 fully fleshed out game ideas, and she was just super willing to learn. She had decided, I've already learned Scratch. I really want to learn a completely new coding language. And then even with the game that we chose, I try to keep the timeline pretty realistic, that we might not be able to accomplish everything, but Sammy really had it in the bag. She accomplished everything that she wanted to, and I really didn't need to even tell her that like we might not be able to accomplish everything because she did everything. But yeah, I'll let you present.
Yeah, my name is Samantha. I'm in 7th grade and I go to the girls' middle school. My mentor Julia works as a software engineer at Microsoft. She's from LA and grew up playing video games with friends. Some of her hobbies are playing piano and basketball. So my video game that I made is called Fly. Before I developed my idea, I knew that my goal was to learn a completely new coding language. In school, I had already learned Scratch, CSS, and HTML, but I wanted to learn something new. And so since I wanted to make a video game, Julie and I were deciding between Python and JavaScript, and we settled on Python. And just to get familiar with it, I first learned a tutorial, and once I was done with that and got familiar, I started working on my own game. For the tutorial, I learned getting familiar with Python, just so I could learn the basics of it and just understand how it worked really. I learned displaying images, game boundaries, and collision detection. For my game, I learned a lot. I learned that indentations are very important. I learned to debug, and just so when I made a mistake in the code, I could figure out what I did wrong and how I could fix it. I learned image rotation and movement since my obstacles and my player moved a lot, and I learned lists and functions. Next slide. So some challenges I had were rotating the spike image. So when we at first got it to move, it distorted the image, and so it wouldn't stay intact. It would move all over the screen. And getting it to move took a lot of research and trial/error. And some of the code we found online contained a lot of difficult math equations. Another challenge we had were collisions. We learned that image size matters, and it can sometimes affect where the image collides. And the image box outlining the image can make collisions a lot harder to be precise about. Next slide. This is my demo, and you can see here that I'm using my arrow keys to control that bird in the middle. And by then I just collided with a ball. And then I'm playing again, and I just collided with the spike. And then you can see that I can't go out of the screen, and I can move around a little bit. And I just collided with the seagull. Thank you.
Questions for Sammy?
Yeah.
Sammy, what was the goal of the game? Like, what was happening in
Well, the goal is just to survive as long as you can, but the goal for me was to expand my knowledge of Python.
Any other questions?
And why did you decide to use Python?
Well, we decided to use it because certain languages can be good for the imaging, and Python is really good for making movement in games.